Alright, so I played Satellarknight at my local because it's my favorite deck, and I went X1 and I got second place. I played a shit ton of Pendulum Magician. That was really one of the only deck that's there because it's like the only deck anyone plays up here for stupid ass reasons. Um, the Pendulum matchup I'm not really too scared of. I learned a couple things about it though that I wasn't sure about, which I learned some kind of bullshit rulings with Diamond. Apparently, if he negates Purple Poison can just activate again, which is complete bullshit. But
Just like Strike.
yeah, but I learned a lot about that matchup. I learned that Diamond really does actually suck. The only thing he can really stop is Joker. And I just learned a bunch of different things about the deck that I wanted to talk with you guys about after I'm done with the profile. But this is the deck I got second with. There's a lot of stupid things I'm doing in here. There's a lot of things I kind of wish I wasn't doing. But I'll just talk about everything as I go through. Of course, it's Satellarknight, so you have to play 3 Deneb. If you're not playing this, there's something wrong with you. And if you don't understand why it's a 3, I can't help you either. This is also a 3 of. It's Altair. He's the best one. Well, he's the second best one. He specials them back from the graveyard. He's your playmaker, and he is my favorite card in the whole deck. The only thing I hate about him is that only Teller's can attack the turn he uses effect, which is the real big downside of his effect. But really, I play so many Teller Exceeds now, it doesn't really matter that much. And then, of course, you play the 3 in Nuclei because we are playing Card of Demise, and this card is the best one to have with Card of Demise. Plus, you really need to see Deneb. With Rhoda going to 1, it was hard for this deck to see that Deneb turn 1 as much as it usually does. So this you just really need because it's another way to get to Deneb. And then 1 Vega because she's still needed in the deck. I think she's good to have as like a first turn playmaker to make you go into an Exceed first turn if you want, or just have a way to get to 3 monsters really fast for Trevor. And then this is something really horrible and retarded I'm doing because I'm playing Demise, but I'm playing 2 Ghost Ogre in the Max Z. These cards, I didn't draw them ever, except for this card. I misplayed with it in the last round, and it lost me the game because I should have just demised with it in my hand, but instead I set it and then demised. And I had an alpha, so I shouldn't have set this is what I did wrong. I would have won the last game because I was going to draw a nuke, and that would have won me the game if I didn't use my normal summon on this. But, I mean, playing these with demise is honestly pretty retarded, and I wish I was playing evenly matched instead. Because evenly matched just shits on the Pendulum Magician deck.
Card's so damn expensive.
I know, but it's just so expensive. And like
Rogue
these,
scrubs.
these I just think are also good. Like this one I think is actually pretty bad. But in this deck, because if you do it to them, like it's really not going to stop them from putting out a board because they know, again, if with Tellarknights, if they put out a big enough board, you can't get over it because you have to rely so much on your normal summon. But I like this because it usually stops them from making the board. This one really doesn't as much. But like if they don't know what you're playing, they will stop if you maxi them in the first game, but that's really the only time. Then on to spells. Of course, triple card of Demise. I'm honestly thinking of bringing this down to 2. I think I see it too frequently, and I see it in multiples in my hand way too much. This card's broken, don't get me wrong, but I played it at 2 a while ago in an OTS that I got 3rd with this deck at, and I had no problem with that. It was still perfectly fine, and I definitely think maybe 2 of this card is probably the way to go. But this card is stupid. And then double duality on top of that, just so you see it. If you have duality and this in hand, you should set the duality in Demise and then duality, because you could always duality into 3 monsters, and that would really suck. So you wouldn't get your full advantage off Demise. And then I'm playing 2 MST for the Pendulum Magician matchup mainly. I kind of want to play 3 of this, because if you can't out the trap card, you lose, because they'll just pick apart all your back row, and you won't be able to do anything. And that trap card is literally what kills this deck in that matchup besides Purple Poison. So you really need to get rid of that. So I did want to bump this up to 3, but my side deck was really heavily designed to take care of that matchup.
Do you like that better than Cosmic Cyclone?
This? I do like this card better than Cosmic Cyclone in this deck because I'm playing 3 strikes and warning, and I pay so many life points, and you take so much damage with this deck that your life points are really valuable to you. That's part of the reason I'm not playing Soul Charge, even though I want to. Your life points are really valuable, and I just think this card's better, especially since True Draco is not really a thing anymore. The only reason I would see Cosmic Cyclone over this is because it actually gets rid of Purple Poison, and that's actually a really good idea. But I just only have 1, and I don't really want to just play 1, so yeah. Rhoda, of course. The whole deck's Warriors.
39 cards, baby.
Yeah, Upstart, because you need to see Deneb. And then Raigeki. I kind of want to play Dark Hole for going second in this deck. I just couldn't find the room right now, so maybe if I cut the third Demise, that's what I'll play too. This deck just needs ways to clear boards going second, and Dark Hole is a really good way to do that. Traps, the best part of the deck. 3 of this. I've been debating cutting it down to 2. I think 3 is still the way to go, because this card's the best card, probably, in the deck for the deck. Just negating something, drawing a card is really awesome. This is the only reason this deck, like you need to see this card if you want to win, like, consistently, because it's your only way to stop Twin Twister, and this deck just gets rocked by Twin Twister and Heavy Storm Duster. So those are the really, like, things that hurt the deck right now. There's just so much back row removal in the game, it's hard for the deck. And then we're playing 3 Call of the Haunteds and the 1 Oasis. I know you're going to ask about Back to the Front in this deck. I really don't like Back to the Front in this deck, unless I play it along with the Oasis, because Back to the Front is not continuous. At first I thought, with Trevere. At first I was thinking it would be good because it's chainable, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. These cards are just better. I was playing 2 Storming Mirror Force just to out big boards. I'm going to cut this, though. And I was playing 2 of these. This is going down to 1. And I actually really hate this card. I think I might just play normal Fiendish Chain over it now, because I think this card's, like, fucking awful. Because every time I use it on my opponent's monsters, like, I can't attack them, so, like, I can't kill them. So I just think this card's fucking awful, and I'm probably going to play Fiendish Chain instead of it. My first ever matchup against Pendulum Magicians, which was, like, months ago with this deck, I misplayed with this, and it cost me the game, because I couldn't attack into his Joker. Which is, I really hate this card. I think I'm going to cut this card, because this card's like a $16 card now, I guess, so, like, yeah. And then 3 Strike, and Warning, they're the best traps in the game right now, and kind of needed for this deck to compete. And then the Order, if you open this and you don't win, you're doing something wrong. And then Torrential, because it's really good in this deck with the Exceed monsters, and no one expects it in the game right now, because no one plays as much back row as this deck. And then the extra deck. There's a bunch of things I would change in here. I'm going to go over that after the list, though. 3 Batlamias, because you need to see Trevor consistently. Trevor is the only reason this deck can compete. Trevor is the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh!, and this card lets you make him easier. Unfortunately, this card is in -1 to get Trevor, but he's really big, and he lets you get to Trevor when you need him. He's kind of like that emergency button, like, I need Trevor now, so I make this. I'm thinking of cutting this card to 2, because I don't think this card... I think I make this card too much, and I think that's why I lose so many games, because I do that -1. I think this card, I'm relying on it too much, and I think I need to cut it to 2. I don't think 3 is necessary anyway, because I never make the 3rd. I just played it at 3 because I was scared since I lost Emerald, but I really don't think it's that necessary. The 1 Diamond, I made this a bunch, but then I realized it sucks ass, so I don't think I'd ever make it again. The only time it was really useful was when I knew he had Joker in hand, because I Trevored, so I summoned it and stopped the Joker, and that was the only time that this card was ever useful, is just for Joker. Everything else, it sucks against. This card, because this card's actually still really good. I think I like this card almost better than Shriver in some situations, in most situations, but I love this card, and I think it's awesome, so I play it. And then, of course, if you want to even try and compete, you need this guy at 3, because you can't loop him as much anymore, because links. But with your calls, you should be able to recycle him effectively. This card's my favorite card in the whole deck, besides Altair. Then I'm playing Sook. I might cut this because I think this card's inconsistent and bad. I'm playing 86. This card is just outright bad in Link format. I'm not playing it. Every time I summon this card, I lose. So I'm probably not going to play this anymore. I'm playing the Utopia package because I think every deck needs to play this, and this card is just such a good out to everything and damage. And yeah, and then I'm playing Baguska because it's a level 4 deck, and this card's the best rank 4 in the game probably right now. And then I'm playing Castel. I probably should cut this too because no one plays this card anymore, but I always think this deck needs a way to out stuff without using its battle phase because of Altair, and I think Castel's a way to do that.
Perhaps Tornado Dragon instead?
That's what I was thinking. Either Tornado Dragon. I do want to play Tornado Dragon in the extra deck. I need to get the room for it too. And the last Link I'm playing is my only Link I'm playing is Decode.
You don't need to Link.
Because you really don't need to Link. But the way you use this is with Trevor and Deltaros when you link with them. It's kind of broken. You could play a Cosmic Magician over this, because a Cosmic Magician can like bounce an Altair back to your hand if you put it in the same zone. I have a Cosmic Magician. I pulled it after I out of my packs I got for getting second. And I will play the Noble Knight Link along with this, because I think having this is good because of an Exceed monster I do want to play in the extra deck called Traptrix Reflasia that I'll show you.
Noble Night Link. Can't
Yeah, the
wait
Noble
for that.
Night Link.
This is his favorite night deck. Mine's coming up next. Noble Knights.
The side deck, I played 2 of this because this card's good. The only bad thing about these are you can't Trevor the turn you summon them, so you just got to be careful with that because you technically did special summon this, even though it's not onto your board, it's on your opponent's board. So you can't Trevor when you do that. And these are the only 2 kaijus I own. I would play Gamma Seal over these because Deltaros beats over them. Batlamai beats over them. But these
Gamma
really,
Seal's expensive.
Gamma Seal's
$8
expensive,
card for
and
a
it's no
rare.
fucking reason. I hate that card. I played Dark Hole in the side, obviously. I played the 3rd MST in the side, obviously, just for going second in Pendulum boards. And then for Pendulums, especially, I played Twin Twister and Heavy Duster because I wanted these 3 cards to be evenly matched, but I'm poor.
Yeah.
So, like, this is what I made instead
You're
because
poor.
I just wanted good cards in the Pendulum matchup because I know that's there. Because I know I'm going to see that a lot there, and I hate that matchup, and I hate that deck, so, yeah. They can go fuck themselves. This card
Great card.
it's a good
Love that
card. I
card.
should probably main it, but I didn't think about it, and I put it in the side deck because it's really good. I never sided it in, though. But it is a good card. Don't get me wrong. I think it's good. I just didn't play any decks. Like, Trickstars is, I think, the best deck it's good against. But there were no trick. I didn't play a single Trickstar. There's just a shit ton of Pendulum Magician. And then this, I should have sided these in, but I never did. Because they're really good against the Pendulum Magicians in the matchup. And I just never sided them in. I probably should be maining these too. But I just can't find the room right now. I'm going to tell you guys a bunch of different shit. And then for some Floodgates here, because you can't play this deck without Floodgates, we got 2 Rivalry. Kind of just shits on the Spiral matchup. And then 2 Anti-Spell. I was debating maining these for the event because, like he said, this deck only wins if it gets to Rivalry, really. But I didn't draw Rivalry all day, which I was kind of upset about. But this card, I was debating maining these because, like he said, yeah, this is a really good card for the deck because it doesn't rely on spells, and Trevor can just add this back so I can play my spells. And I do think it is a good idea to main this. I said to myself, all right, if there's a lot of Pendulum Magician players here, I'm gonna main these. And I looked around and I was like, I don't really think there's that much. And I was fucking wrong because I played like 75% of my matchups was Pendulum Magicians, and I was like, what the shit? Yeah, and it was the only deck I lost to because I misplayed like an idiot. But that's the deck. The only thing like I said that I would change is I'm definitely cutting this piece of shit because it sucks. And I want to play.
Cutting the Roman.
Yeah, and I want to play this because this card's actually really good, and I would have made this card so many times had I had it. And along with these cards, this card is just awesome because like this card just shits on the Pendulum Magician matchup because it flips them all face down and they can't do shit with them. And then this card is just it's bottomless. I don't know how to explain that, but
broken ass card.
This card
still
just
hasn't
so
came
good.
back for more than one.
Yeah. This
I'm
card's
surprised.
just so good in the deck, and I do want to play this card, and I'm actually cutting this card. Like I said, this isn't really the best version of the deck. I kind of just threw it together on like my old theories of playing this deck back in Duelist Alliance format and Necros format because this is my favorite deck ever. So I definitely this deck list's a little weird, and there's a lot of things I would change. Like I said, I did learn a lot through those matchups I played, and I'd like to change a lot of things with the deck that I'm going to be working on, and I'm debating playing the updated version again at our next local. I don't know if I will, because I do want to try out Zephyra's over here.
Yeah, Zephyra's.
I think the deck's awesome too. But
we'll definitely get you guys a deck profile of that eventually at some point. Also, Raccoons and Noble Knights will be coming
up soon. But I think this deck's still fine. I think it's all right. It's not going to win any YCS regional or anything, but you can definitely do like some damage with it. You can top a local easily with this deck. This deck is really fun for me. I know a lot of people don't really like decks like this because it sits on back row, but for me, I think this deck's just super fun and I love playing it. And if any of you like playing it, then go ahead, have fun, play this deck. I mean, there are stupid versions with like Star Seraphs and Artifacts, and I was playing Artifacts in it for a while, but I really think Pure is the way to go with this deck. Because that's just always been the way. If you play this deck pure, you should be winning. Like it should be a lot better because pure Satellarknights is usually greater than any other version of Satellarknight. Because I don't really know why. It's just always the way it's been. But Yeah, like a lot of stuff in this deck sounds good in theory, but it's not. But that's the deck. Feel free to tell me what you like. Think about it down in the comment section, and yeah, I enjoy this deck a lot. So feel free to try it out too. It's a really fun deck, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with it as long as you don't open hands of 4 monsters and demise like I did once. So
all right,
yeah, that's it.
Rogue Scope is out.